You think that the reason that you don't have the money, the relationship, the freedom, the safety and security and success that you desire, and you think it's because you aren't living up to some gold standard of who you need to be in order to receive these things. You think that there's like some idealized version of perfection, or once you hit all the rules exactly perfectly right, that like the door will unlock and you'll be able to just start receiving all that you desire. More often than not, what the problem is the version of you that has all of those things is so powerful, is so bold, is so magnetic that on the deepest level of your subconscious and nervous system, it scares the living shit out of you. And I'm sure you're sitting there being like, no, like, why would that scare me? That's couldn't be me. I invite you into being just a little bit open-minded about this, because this has been true for pretty much every single one of my clients, where you think that you aren't receiving what it is that you want. And it's because, deep down, you don't feel like you're good enough. And once you're good enough, once you're worthy, that the things will come. But the truth is, you're fucking terrified of being that version of you that gets those things, because it's not the same version of you that now that plays it safe, that plays it small, that is afraid to say the things, that is afraid to hold the discomfort around receiving what it is that you desire. And oh, like even now I'm like feeling that in my system every time it comes up. Why would I be afraid? That's ludicrous. Why would I be afraid? I want the thing. I wouldn't want the thing if it wasn't meant for me. So why would I be afraid? And it's not that you're afraid logically, it's nervous system. It's learning to be regulated as the version of you that has the things and all that comes with receiving the things. Most people aren't failing because they're lazy or unmotivated or not good enough or not capable enough of having or receiving the thing. It's that you're resisting becoming the version of you that would change everything. And why are you afraid of it? It's because it feels foreign. It feels unsafe. It feels completely threatening to your identity and your nervous system. And your brain's job is to keep you safe. And something that is new, a new relationship, one that is healthy, that holds you accountable, right? For being a healthy part of the relationship, that can feel completely dysregulating. That can feel terrifying. Having more and more money come in can feel terrifying on the nervous system, because it's like, danger, danger, this is new. I don't know how to hold this. And that could look like, what if everybody views me differently? What if people think that I'm a bad person because I have more money? What if it gets taken away from me? A big one for people that have come in my sphere is always, what if I have to pay more taxes? Like, what if it just gets ripped out from underneath me and then I'm left back where I was? I'd rather stay safe. And you don't logically know that that's what's running through your system, but that's what your nervous system, that is what your subconscious is playing over and over and over. So when you get the opportunity, when you meet somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, this person might be the one, and you're like, your nervous system is like, no, no, and like you just won't approach them. Or if you're an entrepreneur, right? And it's like you have a new potential client coming in and you're like, oh, and then you bomb it because you're not regulated. This happens so often in the day to day that you don't even realize that it's happening. I see memes sometimes, or like um TikTok videos or reels or whatever, where they're like, I don't know the difference between being asked out on a date or being chased by a bear. Like, your nervous system doesn't know. And it's safer to think, oh, it's just because I don't think I'm worthy, or oh, it's because I'm not doing this right, than it is to be like, oh, I don't want to say this because it sounds not nice, but it's like, oh, I'm being in the victim state. I'm being a victim. Like it feels safer to be like, well, good things don't happen to people like me, or if I was smarter, or if I was more talented, or whatever, right? And it's like, no, you're just repelling your desires because you're not allowing yourself to step up and be the version of you that has everything that you want. And like I can hear people being like, this is bullshit, right? And it's like you hear it enough times where it finally clicks and you realize, oh, okay, this is real. So many people believe that if you just get the formula right, if you just follow the steps, like, and this is one reason why I'm hesitant to like put out another course or, these types of things, because it's like people just want rules to follow. You just want, okay, tell me step by step what I need to do in order to get the thing. And that can be helpful, but it becomes super problematic when you do these things, but you're doing them from the version of you that doesn't have what you want. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to follow these steps because I know that it works, because I know that I am worthy, because I already have everything that I want, right? Like it's just this different vibe when you come at it from this different place, then, like doing the steps will work. But unless you don't change, unless you don't learn to get really fucking comfortable in the most uncomfortableness, the steps aren't going to work, or they'll work to a certain percent, but you're not going to like fully land where you actually want to be because you're not being that version of yourself, right? Another piece of this is, and I talked about this a little bit already, it's like the identity conflict of like, if I succeed, people will expect more from me. Um, Family members might look to me for more money, or, the taxes thing I said, like if I make more money, family and friends will judge me. If I make more than my spouse, that will cause problems. And if I'm bold in love, I could really crash and burn and be even more devastated than I was before. Cause like if I'm just okay. If I'm just dating losers, like if we break up, who cares? But if I date somebody that like means something and it doesn't work out, that would be devastating. And it's like these are the moments where being bold and being radiant in your truth, you're risking getting hurt. You're risking, receiving something that you want and having it taken away. And that is the move. Like that is the step. That is the formula. It's like being really comfortable in the uncomfortableness, because you could, right? Like you could get hurt. There is no guarantees. And the funny thing is like that's the only way to guarantee that you'll get what you want is by knowing that there's no guarantees. That's like the funny part, right? It's like if I were guaranteed to have an income of X, what would I do? And it's like, that's the version of you that would do the fucking thing, and you do the thing and then you get the thing. And if you don't get the thing, you do it again and again and again until you do. And that is how you become guaranteed to have what it is that you want. A big piece of this is your nervous system, getting your nervous system on board with your desires. It's like, the way that I used to describe it is we have four bodies, right? We have our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, and our emotional body. If you cannot get your body on board and you're just like trying to manifest, trying to live consciously through your, I like to say, logical brain, you'll only get so far. And it will be way more difficult because you have to like continuously be thinking ahead and like trying to, like, does this person look ideal on paper, instead of like dropping into your body and trusting your intuition and trusting your body to be like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I just know that this feels right. This feels like the right job opportunity for me. This feels like the person that I'm meant to move forward with, these types of things. And if you don't know how to regulate your nervous system to one, having what you currently have, but also expanding into having more, you won't get more because your body is going to repel it every step of the way. And you might like call in a relationship, but it's not going to be everything that it could be because you're holding yourself back. It's a process, and it's something that you learn through doing. You learn through taking action and regulating, taking action and regulating. So spend some time dropping in and asking yourself, who would I need to be in order to have what I want? If I'm in a healthy relationship, what would that look like? Well, it would look like I wouldn't be able to self-sabotage as much because somebody that is in a healthy relationship isn't self-sabotaging. Okay, so what does self-sabotaging look like? Like I'm just picturing this meme I saw that it was like when I'm angry, I become my father. And it's like that, right? Like you can't be in a healthy relationship and lash out and be, you know, unhealthy. You just can't because the two just don't go together. And the same thing with having more money. It's like, who would you be if you had more money? Well, I would have firmer boundaries because you can't have more money if you're just letting it leak out all over the place and not honoring your own boundaries, your own values when it comes to giving and receiving and sharing, right? And it's not that you won't, it's deciding what is right and true for you and holding firm in those boundaries. Would you be somebody that takes up more space? If you're in relationship, that means communicating. That means saying the things that are really uncomfortable. And with money, it's like taking up more space. It's like just the holding of more money takes up space. It takes up space in your system because if you aren't used to having more and more money, it's like constantly in your head, like, fuck, fuck, fuck. Like, what am I going to do with this money? And what if somebody, and it's like regulating that, taking more space. And in this position that you're in now, where you don't actually have the amount of money that you are really desiring, it's like, can I imagine holding that much money? Imagine going into your bank account and seeing $100,000 instead of $100. And it's like, that feeling, that's the spaciousness. That's like, oh shit, there's contraction there. I need to learn to regulate and create more space. And that is, again, something that takes practice, but you will get there if you practice. Leaning into the uncomfortableness. Like, I saw this meme where it was like, I actually shared it because I thought it was funny, but it was like, I just realized that if I want to be in a healthy relationship, I have to stop being mean to men. And it's like, well, fuck. Shit, like that's uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to be nice. What are you talking about? I don't want to be nice. And it's like, yeah, that's where, oh, okay, that's my edge. That's where I need to regulate my nervous system into it is safe to be nice to men. It's like, is it? I don't know. And it's the same thing with money. It's like, where is the edge? Like, okay, I feel comfortable having $2,000 in my bank account. Okay, that feels comfortable. $5,000. Okay, that still feels okay. $10,000. You're like, whoa, nope, like that's enough. That's enough. I can't. No more. And it's like, okay, so there's my edge, and there's where I get to practice embodying the version of me that has it. Like imagine being like, oh, I checked my bank account and I had $10,500, and it's like, whoa, right? And it's like, nope, we're going to do this again and again and again and again until I feel regulated and safe in the having, right? This is not about faking. This is not about forcing. This is not about shaming yourself. This is not about being like, well, I'm doing it wrong. Like that's not what it is. What it is being gentle with yourself. It is about learning to regulate your nervous system, learning to have a connection with your body from your brain and your body and your intuition that works for you and not against you. It is about embodying the version of you that you are now and the version of you that you want to be, and learning that you are the one that's in control of that, not what's happening outside of you. You are allowed to take baby steps. You are allowed to have small shifts, and each step leads you to greater and greater expansion in a way that feels safe, in a way that feels regulated. So if your goal is like, okay, I want to have $50,000 in my bank account, and currently I have 50 cents in my bank account, right? And it's like, that's a big jump for most people. I will say that probably feels like a big jump. So start small. Like, okay, I have $10 in my bank account. I have $10 in my bank account. It's like this small shifts, because if you knew in a year you had $50,000 in your bank account, would you care that it took a year? I can hear some people being like, well, yeah, I want it yesterday. I get that. Like, part of this is also learning to hold yourself in patience. And the better that you get at that, the more things will speed up. But that's something that has always helped me is like, if I knew in 2 years I would have X or I would be living in this different experience, is it worth the suffering that I'm going through now? And it's like, well, if I knew that, if I knew things were changing, of course I would be happy. Of course I would be like, okay, this sucks, but I can do this, right? And it's like, that's the work. That's the work, is holding yourself in this present moment, not trying to like escape this moment. Let your nervous system expand with you, become regulated in this moment. And then when you feel like you are regulated, start imagining that you have the things that you want, even on a smaller scale, and see where your system lights up. See where you're like, oh, like I feel anxious about that. And start to just breathe into that. That is how you do this work. So I'd love to hear in the comments any questions that you have. What is it that you are looking to manifest? What feels like the growth edge for you? And I will see you in the next video.